Before we get started, why don't you go ahead and subscribe here to my channel, and once you subscribe, be sure to click on that bell notification so you're notified every single time I post another video. Really quick, I want you to pay attention to the fact that this video is a couple of years old and I'm using it for educational purposes, along with the free ebook that is left in the description box below. It's free 99. Have you feeling fine? Okay, go ahead and download that so you can figure out how to learn your porosity. You can do your own porosity test at home. I break it down there in detail. Now that we're through all of that, let's get back to the task at hand. So this beauty here was suffering from mechanical damage, and this is one of my clients that lets me go ahead and get rid of all of her damage. So I want you to make sure you stick around through the end of this video. And right now, really quick, even if you have to come back and comment a couple of times, how much do you think we're gonna have to get off right now? Just looking at it, how many inches do you think we're gonna have to cut? Go ahead and leave it in the comments right now, and then just come back and make another comment at the end of the video to let me know whether or not you were right or wrong. Let's try that, okay? So now I am detangling her hair. All of the products I use can be found in the links left in the description box below. I want you guys to keep in mind that when I was uploading these videos, I didn't show you the entire process. Whenever you're watching somebody on YouTube, understand that this appointment took me about 2 hours. So you're only gonna watch this video in about 20 minutes. So I put in what I could. One thing that you did not see in this video is before I begin the round brushing process, she received a deep scalp exfoliation along with a scalp detox and a treatment on her hair. Her hair is actually low porosity. So with her low porosity hair, I had to make sure that I use products with smaller particles to get inside of her very, very tightly shut cuticle, okay? So the silk pressing process, there are so many people who have things to say about the round brush, but the truth of the matter is, if you feel like a round brush breaks off the hair, or if you've used a round brush before, whether it was on yourself or a client, and you feel as if it broke the hair off, it was because, don't get mad at me, girl. Listen, girl, you just didn't know what you was doing, girl. So let's talk about it. When you are using a round brush, the main objective is for you to get the hair in beta keratin, which is your new stretched state. Okay, so you can do a wet set. That's wet setting. This is considered dry setting. Any type of blow drying of the hair is considered dry setting, and it is very important that you dry set the hair properly, because if you don't, the cuticle still remains a little open. If the hair is still a little wet, just a little bit, you give yourself heat damage. That's the truth of the matter. So like you can see right here, I first create tension at the root by creating a little tension on the ends, but remember, her hair has already been detangled, so there are no tangles at all. And then I go ahead and use tension at the root with the blow dryer. The reason that I love the round brush is because the average person has about 100,000 follicles on their scalp, and each follicle has anywhere from 1 to 4 strands. So a person with really thick hair like her has anywhere from 200,000 to about 400,000 strands of hair on their head. So if you look at her hair, I'm thinking we're about 300,000 to 400,000 strands. So yeah, a blow dryer attachment on the blow dryer, that's cute, is really nice. But if you're trying to separate the hair, and if you are trying to train the bonds in the hair to be in a new state temporarily, you want to manipulate as many pieces of hair as you possibly can. And the truth of the matter is, with the teeth on the blow dryer attachment, I can only manipulate so many hairs at a time. But if you look at a round brush up close, you can see that the teeth are very small. There are a lot of them, and it separates enough of the hair strands at one time. So for me, it works. If you feel like using another tool, sugarfoot, then you do that. But the round brush works amazing for me for that reason. Yeah, and for no other reason. If you learn how to use it properly, and if the hair is prepared properly, you will not damage your client's hair. So go ahead, stick around, watch me do the rest of this blow drying process. Let me know in the comments below if you think anything about what I just said, whether you agree or disagree. It's the science of the hair, girl, so it ain't on me. I'll see you in a minute, okay?
I ran away from heartbreak. Got nothing in return for my pain. I never thought I'd be so empty, so alone and afraid. Wasn't looking for a lover. Nobody understood where I've been. I guess I thought I needed more time to protect my love from potential offense. So I then you came around and you played it cool, but I shut it down. So you took it to love, and I'm not surprised by what I found, 'cause I know I needed something different, and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who would listen, and it had to be you. Out of all the people to reply, my love couldn't be just anyone. My baby, it had to be you. I didn't seem to notice that you were checking for me. We were just friends, but we started building trust, and my fragile heart started to mend. Yeah, I should have paid attention. You would have been the obvious choice, but I needed time to see clearly, dig deep and cut through the noise. So I then you came around and you played it cool, but I shut it down. So you took it to love, and I opened up. I'm not surprised by what I found, 'cause I know I needed something different, and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who would listen, and it had to be you. Out of all the people to revive my love couldn't be just anyone. My baby, it had to be you. You.
So we're finishing up the silk pressing process, well, kind of sort of, because we're halfway through. One question that I know you guys are going to ask me is what the temperature is on. I will say this was a couple of years ago, girl, and I do not remember, but I will say that the temperature varies based on my client's porosity. For example, let's say that your hair looks exactly like her hair looks right now, and I told you, okay, I had the heat on 400. You would say, okay, because my hair looks like hers, I'm going to put my heat on 400. This is where you make your mistake, because that is a vanity metric. That is not how you would decide how high the heat goes. She has low porosity hair. So if I tell you that you put it on 400 because it worked on 400 for her, you could possibly damage your hair because her cuticle is closed because she has low porosity hair. But you could have high porosity hair, so your cuticle is wide open. So when you use 400 on your hair, it may be a little bit too much heat for you, depending on your porosity and the density of your hair. That is why when you guys ask different questions like, oh, what is the exact heat setting, and the person doesn't give it to you, it's not because they're withholding information. It is because most of us don't want to be caught up and held accountable for giving you the wrong information, because everyone's heat setting with their flat irons, it's different. Another thing, when it comes to the whole silk pressing process, it is not the products that give you a proper silk press. It is the technique that you are using. For an example, it is not the flat iron that is giving me this silk press. It's two variables. The technique that I use to blow dry the hair, because the hair should be over 50% straight before the flat iron is introduced. And with the flat iron, I'm not just randomly taking the flat iron down her hair shaft. I know her porosity, I know her density, so I'm using different levels of tension with the flat iron as I go down the hair shaft, which you can't see because the video has changed in speed. But with my hand, I'm applying different pressure at different pressure points, whether it's at her cuticle and then letting loose as I go down the hair shaft. So it is the amount of pressure that you attach to the flat iron as you're using it. So just simply gliding the flat iron down your hair isn't going to do the job. And this is why I say that it is not a tool that gives the person heat damage, but the person that is manipulating the tool. Because if you do not know how to properly manipulate a flat iron, you will not get a silk press. Because I'm sure you guys have sat at home and you've watched your favorite silk press artist, your favorite YouTuber or whoever do a silk press, and you're like, I'm moving the flat iron just like them, but it's not coming out the same. It's not coming out the same because it looks like you're moving it just like them, but part of our technique as professionals is making video content that still doesn't give away our secrets, even though I sort of kinda just gave away one. But like I said, you guys, it is a skill level. Everybody don't do a good one because everybody don't know how to do it. Okay, so here we go. We have finished the entire silk pressing process, so now we can go ahead and do a haircut. You guys, for all of the grandchildren in the place, if you're new to my channel, you don't know this, but trolls, I call them grandkids or aunties. So she actually brought a picture in of exactly how she wanted her haircut, and by the end of this haircut, her hair looked exactly like the picture. So I did not cut too much hair. This is exactly how she wanted her hair for all the grandchildren in the place. Okay, so as you can see, she does have quite a few holes. This was the season where, you know, all of my clients were coming back from having their braids and things of that nature for the summer. Now, I love braiders. I honestly feel like braiders aren't paid enough money. However, I will say that we all need to make sure that we are properly preparing the hair before we put braids in, because our protective styles end up doing more harm than good. I cut with the tips of my shears. I've always been like that. There's nothing wrong with my shears, even though people like to say that, but you know, anyway, I'm going in and I am creating this initial baseline for her. This is the initial guide, and then I'm going to go through and put a couple of layers in her hair. You will see as we go down. This was actually a pretty big slice that I took, a pretty big part that I made, I'm sorry, but you can see, you can barely see it, because as we went down her hair, I can't talk today. As we went up, her hair got thinner and thinner, so you barely see that hair right there. Barely see it, but I'm still going to go through. And the main reason that I do cut with the tips of my shears in the sliding motion that I do is because most of my clients don't want a extremely blunt haircut, but at the same time, I don't like to go in and do point cutting on natural hair, because I don't want to I just don't want to cause that much texture and value in places like that, because as the hair grows out, I want it to be an easy transition. So here we go again. You can see this. A lot of people ask me about the damage to the crown or thinning in the crown. I need you guys to remember that even though top knot buns are cute, even though, you know, your protective styles are cute, even though the braids and stuff are cute, I want you to be aware that if you get box braids all the time, gravity is a whole thing, right? So all of the braids are going downward towards the floor, and what is exposed? That crown, the middle part of your hair, and it's going downward because you're constantly putting tension. Even though it's a protective style, there is a such thing, too much of anything. So if you're constantly wearing braids, you're constantly putting that weight on the crown, or you're constantly putting your hair in a pineapple or a top knot bun, eventually it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And remember, the average person has about 100,000 follicles on the scalp and about 1 to 4 strands. So what's happening, you're putting so much tension there, you're clogging the follicles so much. Make sure you watch the video that we had earlier today so you can learn a little bit more about the 4 cycles of hair growth. But you're blocking that cycle of hair growth, and by you blocking that cycle of hair growth, all of the hair is thinning in the middle. You're not different. I have a video coming really soon showing you guys some inside scoops from some of my coaching calls. You won't see anybody's face, but I want you guys to hear that the majority of you have the same exact issues from doing the same exact protective styles. I just did the quotation marks with my fingers, because the styles that you think are protective are not really that protective, guys, okay? So at this point, I'm just going back in, giving her some really cute layers, so that way, you know, whenever the wind blows, her hair be flowing with the wind, and her hair and the wind be friends and stuff. So that's what's going on here, you guys. If you learned anything today, make sure you leave it in the comments below, and let's see, how many inches did we cut? Were you right? Go back, leave another comment. You don't have to go back to that old one. You can leave a new one. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm saying that because it's gonna trigger the algorithm, and a lot of people gonna learn stuff. Girl, go comment. I love you, girl. Okay? Yes.
Vibe is massive, it's supernatural. Keep it factual, you know you're maxing back. Look at the way they hold they chat. Honestly amazing, I want you on occasion. I can do you favors that I know you won't do for. I know what you wanted, you got it gorgeous. You're bad, you're a token. It's talking me nicely, just ease it up on me. I'm fighting the feeling, I'm keeping it cordial, yeah. I want you closer, you know where you started, you know that I need it. I can see it in your eyes, the way you move is so amazing. You say what I wanna hear, tell me it's all for me. Just show me you want it, you're ready. You say you're ready for it, you're ready. What are we waiting on? I know it's on your mind. You're ready, you want it for it. You've heard some things, people talk like they know the real me. Let me clear the air, I've made my mistakes, I've learned how to behave. I know I'm a stranger, but I feel acquainted. Reading the signs, we both got our damages. I don't wanna play it safely, with you it's different. You've been what I'm missing, real talk, no fiction. I get lost in how I'm feeling, yeah. I want you closer, you know where you started, you know that I need it. I can see it in your eyes, the way you move your body, baby. You say what I wanna hear, tell me it's all for me. Just show me you want it, you're ready. You say you're ready for it, you're ready. What are we waiting on? I know it's on your mind. You're ready, you want it for it. Just show me you want it,
tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell your mama, I tell your papa too. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too.
I'm gonna tell you,
I'm gonna tell you that I need you. I need you every day. You'll get weary of my touch, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that